New Hampshire is this this kind of like blank canvas that's small enough that a Free State Project can actually like install themselves in that community of New Hampshire and really affect change in a seemingly positive way, or at least in a more individualistic sense.
And imagine if they were to completely get off the grid with sustainable energy, like they could completely like not even need the rest of the surrounding states as support.
Yeah, and that's really awesome, and I really think that it is important to emphasize the need for us to create like working models of the way that the world could be in order for us to feel as though we can make a difference in this world. Like Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. And I made it into this poem, which is, just the quote, the hook of it is, be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the change you wish to see. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the change. Don't be a stranger. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the change you wish to see. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the change. Don't be a stranger. And I think that if we create a model for change like sustainable energy, all we need to do is power one community, and then we need to exploit people's disbelief or doubt in it being a working sustainable culture in order all we have to do is display it in massive means. Hey, guess what? We are creating a system where we are not wasting natural resources. We're doing the opposite. We're creating a new system of processing natural resources, which is a lot more efficient than the previous system of burning coal and sending it into the Earth's atmosphere. So there's that, and then there's the sense of, like, overall, if people are really interested in self-motivation, sustainable energy is actually cheaper on the long scale. It's just that people don't want to invest in it short term. Like, if you were to equip your house with solar panels, you're going to be saving so much money in the long term, as long as you're thinking long term about it. If you're thinking 35 years into it, then you have to go, just for yourself, just for your own wallet. I mean, it's even as a selfish gesture, you have to invest in solar power if you're thinking about saving money on the long term. And I think that's the greatest way to affect people, is to appeal to their selfic desires.
Now, do you mind if we go back to what you said for a second about individuality versus like getting involved?
Yeah, no, I don't mind.
Okay, and Zach touched upon a very interesting point, especially in today's society, where we are so inundated with all this technology and all of this entertainment that we don't need to leave the house. We don't need to go out and make connections with people in our neighborhood because we are separated by degrees and filters of this technology, right?
Okay.
I mean, we can use it to work for our advantage, but at the moment, we have all of our other governmental needs taken care of. Or that has been the theory, that has been the mindset of many people in the past few years. So we're in a place right now where people aren't as they can't communicate as well in a community setting.
Yeah, community is definitely being deconstructed down to a level of
so it's even
ignorance.
really important for people to get really connected into their own township, into their own town government, and kind of make those connections. Because I mean, who's gonna run town government when all of these teenagers who are off going to shows all the time come of age? Do you know what I'm saying? All of their grandparents will.
You know? Sorry.
Well, I mean, who's going to be running the government?
Responsibility?
Yes, and that's going to be the person who wants to do it the most, the person who is probably not right for the job.
Well, yeah, in our opinion. They feel that they're right for the job because they're motivated by certain factors, which are usually obsession with the power and influence that they'll gain from control. And being obsessed with control is directly applicable to being obsessed with power, and that there's nothing wrong with that. Like we're afraid of people who like are obsessed with control and obsessed with power. It's all about intention. If the intention is positive, then I have no problem with somebody being a dictator. You know, if Hitler popped up and said, "Hey guys, I'm going to be very charismatic and lead you guys to a level where you guys should just follow me into the future because I'm going to lead you guys to pure, sustainable eco
Well, see, that's
villages."
the problem, though. A lot of people saw him like that.
As a positive figure?
Yeah, the people in his country at the time saw him as.
It is a problem when see, that's the thing, is manipulation isn't a negative thing either, as long as the intention is positive, and what is positive and what is negative is
So you're a believer that
filter.
it doesn't matter the means as long as the outcome is for the better of the people.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like if because in the grand scheme of things, it's like
It's definitely a situational thing for me, I think.
well,
But
you can't take into. It's like Spock says. It's like, I'm gonna get Trekkie on you guys for a second. It's like Spock says, and I very much believe in it. It's like it's a libertarian vantage. It's the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. And
right, and I agree with that completely. I do.
because you can't take the one person among 7 billion that wants to, refine stardust into this sustainable source of energy when we have to expend all this money that we could be using to directly feed and clothe and shelter people that need it, that could become effective contributors to society. And I know that that's going to seem contradictory to my previous point, where it's like that where people are going to say, but aren't what you expressing exactly the same fundamental principles behind our public school education, training us to be contributors and servants for our economy? The difference is that if we take fuel and resources that are currently not being used and given to the people that absolutely need them, and then we turn them into workers, then they're not going to be servants any longer once they reach a self-reliant state. But in a lack of a self-reliant state, then I do believe that they can be used for positive means. My friend Callie is like super opposed to sweatshop labor, and I am too, because the intent is malicious. I don't think that kids in first world countries need Air Jordans that cost $600 as a status symbol.
Right, and plus you take away their ability to farm and be sustainable within their own community, so they have to rely on the capitalist system after they get those jobs.
Here's the real controversial aspect of it. I think that a lot of people need to die.